not again. So let me say thank you to everyone for joining us today. And I know that there will be a lot of people from different time zones here. And I'm Betty, the host today. And together with me, I have Mohanad, the market analyst of Pure Prime. So thanks for your attendance, and it's really my pleasure to see you here. Okay, and I'm actually pleased to welcome you to this webinar on Pure Prime. And you know that this is a part of a series of online tutorial that is specially curated for the new beginners who are interested in kickstart trading, or for those who want to refresh their knowledge about trading. So in this first section, today is actually the first sections of the webinar. We will share about the fundamental financial market knowledge and how to start trading using our Pure Prime platforms. Okay. So before we begin, I would like to carry out some house rules here. Okay. So the first thing is you will get the slides or the recordings within 3 days or right after this webinar. Secondly, I will need your help to keep your camera and your phones muted or shut it off, okay, for the entire event. And the last one is you can leave your questions, or if you need any more informations, you can actually leave your comments, yeah, in our chat room. You can actually see there's a chat button at your right hand side in the screen. Okay. And last but not least, this webinar will be recorded for future training purpose. Okay. So your cooperations will be much appreciated. So in order to warn all the new users to the beginners, right? So now let me kickstart the webinar, and I will hand over these presentations to our today's presenters, Mohana Yakut.
Thank you so much, Betty. Thank you, my colleague, and thank you everyone for being here. This is Mohamed Yaoud, Market Analysis Manager at Pure Prime. I'm happy to be here with you, and today we're going to kickstart our online webinar series about how to start trading in the financial markets. A quick brief about myself. I'm a certified financial technician from the International Federation of Technical Analysts, as well as a chartered market technician of level 2. And I've been in the financial industry for quite 4 to 5 years now. I get many questions about how to start trading in the financial markets. What do we need to understand, and how could we lower the risk to the minimum? Because of course, trading in the financial in the financial markets includes a lot of risk. However, by understanding the basic principles of risk management analysis, to understand what you're actually doing and what you're actually trading on is the key to success in the financial markets. So we thought, why not start this online webinar series to teach new potential people who are basically going to be future traders in the markets. Because at the end of the day, we are all here seeking financial independence. You trade in the financial markets because this could become a second source of income, or maybe you can become financially independent in one day. So this could be a very good source of income for you. However, you will have to learn in the correct manner, and you will have to follow the rules and follow the risk management issues. This basically will be mentioned and addressed throughout our course here and throughout our online webinars. If you have any questions, please leave it in the chat, and we will be addressing the questions by the end of the series and by the end of each webinar. So quickly, who we are Pure Prime, a world-leading online brokerage. We offer more than 200 products in the financial markets. You can trade Forex, indices, commodities, shares, and cryptocurrencies. I do expect that you don't really understand what does Forex, indices, commodities, and cryptocurrencies mean. However, we are here today and throughout the 4 online webinar series to understand what are the financial markets and what are the instruments traded, and how could PU Prime help you basically tackle your trading career in the financial markets. So let's start with the content for today. What we will be having today is basically we will need to understand what is CFD trading. Of course, I do understand that you always get this risk disclaimer. You always will read it on the news and the financial brokers news and websites that CFD trading includes high risk. However, what does the CFD trading mean in the first place? This will basically be discussed in the beginning of today's session. What are the different types of platforms that we could trade in? What are the instruments that you can trade? How to open a demo and a live account, and this will basically be a practical part in today's session. How to open the MetaTrader 4 platform and log in on a demo account for practice. What is the MetaTrader 4 platform, what are the basics, and what is the user interface. And we will end our session today with our colleague Betty one more time to give us a brief introduction about the virtual championship that we're having here at PU Prime, a chance for you as a beginner to earn some money and to start your career in the financial markets. All you need is just to give me your full focus during the webinar to understand the basics and the statements that we will be explaining in clear and simple English, and you might end up having some bonus accounts to start your trading in the financial markets. So, what is the CFD trading? CFD stands for a contract for difference. It's basically a type of trading in the financial markets. However, when you trade using the CFD contracts or the CFD trading, you don't really uh, care about the product itself. You're not interested in basically owning the asset itself. If you're willing to own a car or buy a car or a house, you basically buy this car or buy this house because you want to use this car to go to your work, to commute to everyday's places that you're going to. If you're owning a house, you're basically you want to live in this house, so you're interested in this asset itself. However, when it comes to CFD trading, you're not interested in the asset. You don't want to own the asset itself. However, you're only interested on trading on the asset's price itself. So when you buy a CFD or a contract for difference on gold prices or on shares, stocks, indices, forex, currencies, cryptocurrencies, whatever the asset is, and we will talk during today's session in more details about the asset classes themselves. When you buy those assets, you're not interested in owning those asset classes themselves. However, you're only trading on the price of those assets. So a contract for difference is only an agreement between you as a buyer or a seller of this asset and your broker as someone or an institution who is basically providing this service to you. You agree with your broker, your financial institution, that I'm owning gold at this specific price. You're basically will not be receiving gold physically. However, you'll be receiving a contract or an agreement from your broker that you, as a client, basically bought gold with this amount at this price, with the date, and everything is basically written down on our system, completely in a sort of an agreement or a contract between us as a broker or a financial institution and you as a client. After you spend maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, or maybe a day in this agreement or contract, you are willing to end and close this agreement on both either a profit or a loss. You basically get back again to your broker. You tell us that I'm no longer interested to hold this contract of gold. I am interested to sell gold at this price. You never owned gold physically. However, you only had an agreement with your broker, and you now want to end this position. You want to get out of this position either on a profit or a loss. So your broker, in this case PU Prime, will basically get back to the beginning contract of your agreement. We will check on which price you basically bought gold and when, and we will calculate briefly how much profit or loss you should have, or you should pay to PU Prime, whether it's a profit or a loss, and we end the agreement with you as a trader. So you are basically only trading on the price. You never owned the asset that you're trading on, and this is briefly the CFD trading. So a contract for difference is basically a contract between a buyer and a seller in which a buyer agrees to pay the seller the difference between the current value of an asset and its value at the time of the contract. This CFD trading enables traders and investors to profit from price movements without having to own the underlying asset. You don't really have to own the gold. You don't really have to own the oil trading or the oil barrels that you're trading on. You don't want to own Bitcoin or Apple shares and etc. etc. You're only trading on the price. The value of a CFD contract is determined solely by the price difference between the trade entry and exit. This is what matters basically, because this is how we calculate the profits and the loss by the end of the contract. So this is accomplished through a contract between the client and the broker, you as the client, we as the broker, and no stock, forex, commodity, or futures exchange is used. Trading CFDs provides several significant benefits that have increased the instrument's enormous popularity over the last decade. So let's go dive deep further to understand what are the different types of platforms that we could trade on. Any CFD's trading broker basically should have one of those trading platforms, either MetaTrader 4, and shortly it's mentioned as MT4, or MetaTrader 5, shortly known as MT5. They are basically both pretty much the same. MetaTrader 4 has been developed by a company called MetaCodes Software. It's no more than a software company or an IT company. They basically developed this software for financial brokers to work with. It has been released at 2005. Before that, we used to have MT3 or MetaTrader 3. It's no longer there out there. Um, MetaTrader 4 is basically one platform that helps get you all of the prices of the CFDs that you're trading on, whether it could be forex currencies, shares, equities, cryptocurrencies, metals, energies, and so on. Whatever the financial assets that you're trading on could basically be seen on the MetaTrader platform that you're having. We will talk later about the financial instruments that you might have on your MetaTrader platform, because it really depends on the broker that you're having, or the broker that you're trading with. However, at the end, when you access the same platform, MetaTrader 4, you should be able to see all of the prices from your broker on the same screen, on the same platform. You would be able to access any chart for any given financial instrument in no longer than a couple of seconds. You will be able to access to enter positions, close positions, and everything is done from the MetaTrader 4 platform quickly. This is something basically a little bit older. Um, MetaCode Software, the same company, developed a new platform, which is MetaTrader 5. Pretty much there's no change. However, it's somehow including more advanced options. When we get into more details about technical analysis, you will find that MetaTrader 5 has some more advanced technical analysis tools. We have something called Elliott wave analysis, and so on, etc., etc. We don't want to have more details about this for now. However, it's just the same platform exactly, with the same purpose of giving you all of the prices of the financial instruments with some extra um, software tools. Let's say you're comparing maybe between an old version of Android software and a new version of an Android software. Why does Android basically give you a newer version? Because it's supposed to be better, it's supposed to give you more options, and it's supposed to fix some older bugs in the previous versions. However, at the end, it's the same operating software. It's called Android, for example. So in this case, it's MetaTrader. It's the same platform by the same company. The company is called MetaCodes, and they are just giving you newer versions of the same software. The software is basically to give you all of the prices of the financial assets that you could trade on easily, very easily. So right now, let's talk about the financial instruments that you might basically trade, that you can trade on using the MetaTrader platform. And starting with number one is basically the Forex. What does the Forex mean? Forex is a word. It's basically consisted of two words. Uh, it's divided up of foreign exchange, and this means that you can exchange foreign currencies each altogether. So you can buy US dollar for euro, or you can buy a British pound for Canadian dollar. You can sell New Zealand pound for Japanese yen, and so on and so forth. You are just exchanging foreign currencies with one another. So this is basically the forex market. For you to know, the forex market is one of the highest, if not the highest, liquid markets in the world. So we are talking about a roughly $7 trillion of trading daily, that takes place basically in the forex market, because basically this takes place on a daily manner. Who basically participates in the forex market? We are talking about central banks. We are talking about the very large commercial banks or investment banks like HSBC, like Citigroup, Bank of America. Those large, very large financial institutions basically affect the forex market. So you, as a small trader or as an independent investor, could you basically trade in the forex market? How could you exchange currencies with one another? You are basically, all you need to do is just to access your MetaTrader platform through your financial broker like PU Prime, and you will get access to all of the currencies on the same platform. You can trade currencies from the US dollar, euro, pound, the Japanese yen, Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, which are the main or the major currencies that we work with, going through with the Russian ruble. Other currencies includes the Singapore dollar, and so on and so forth. So we have many currencies on our platform, and we will check this today in a moment once we access our MetaTrader platform. So that's for number one, which is the forex market. Let's move on to number two, the indices. What does the word indices mean? Indices is basically the plural form of index. Index measures something in the stock market. So a number of shares combined together in an index basically measures the performance of the stock market. Say, for example, the US stock market basically consists of 9,790 stocks. Can you imagine the number? 9,790 stocks in the US market. Can you imagine if someone asked you, how did the US stock market do today? What's the performance for the US stock market today? Is it logical to sit down and just mention each performance for each individual stock throughout the 9,000 stocks? Absolutely not. This will take ages. So the alternative for this is basically to combine the performance of some shares and stocks together in indexes. So the plural of index is not indexes, but it's indices. So indices, we have some indices regarding the industrial sector, for example, in the US stock market. We have indices to measure the performance of the technological stocks in the US stock markets, and so on. So through those indices, they are basically composed of shares listed on the same exchange and is mentioned in the news to measure a market or exchange's quotations. Indices trading provides investors with diversified portfolios and hedges the risks of existing stock markets. If you're talking about indices, for example, we have, let's say, the US Dow Jones. The Dow Jones is an index which is consisted of 30 stocks of the top capitalized companies in the US stock market. If you want to know how is the top 30 capitalized companies performing in the US stock market, all you need to do is just to check the Dow Jones index. If this index is going up, so most or the average of the 30 top most capitalized markets or the companies in the US stock market is going up, or if it's going down, so the most of the 30 companies is basically going down. That's the whole idea of indices. So basically, when you own a share, or if you're basically trading on the price of the index itself, if you have an open position on the Dow Jones, What does that mean? It means that if most of the 30 companies are performing well, the index will go up. You are having a buy position, you will have profits into your bank account, no questions asked. This is basically the key reason for trading on the indices. Going forward and moving on with metals, people, of course, throughout the world trade metals either for trading purposes or for industrial purposes. We have metals like gold, silver, platinum, palladium, copper, etc., etc. We, as PU Prime, we can offer you this opportunity to trade on gold prices and silver prices, palladium, platinum, and so on the platform. Pretty much the main reason, if you want to trade on in the metals prices, is that economically, metal prices are basically are used as inflation hedge. What does inflation mean? Quickly, inflation means the money is losing its value. If you have $100 right now and you're having high inflation, this means that tomorrow the $100 will be worth $95. The money is losing its value. What to do? You should buy metals to to maintain the value that you're having. This is pretty much the use for trading metals in the CFDs markets. Okay, I'm just having a quick look on the chat. Valuable information. Thank you, Mohammed. Thank you so much. Thank you, William. And thank you, Joshua. Thank you so much. Okay, so that's basically the main reason for trading metals. It's used as a hedge against inflation. Political and economic events can significantly influence precious metals prices. And we'll also check the metals on the MetaTrader platform. Going forward, what do we have also on the platform? We have commodities. Talking about commodities, we have multiple types of commodities. First of all, the energy commodities. We're talking about oil prices. We have oil prices like the crude prices, the West Texas Intermediate. We have the Brent crude, which is the UK, the UK oil. We have the US oil. We have the natural gas, and so on. All of this is basically considered one of the energy commodities types. We also have the basic raw materials like the cotton and so on. We have the agricultural commodities like the sugar, coffee, soybeans, and so on. All of this are basically more options for you to trade. Basically, we have many um, trading instruments for you to choose from. You shouldn't basically trade on all of them because this is something somehow impossible for you. If we are trading you more than 200 trading instruments, that doesn't mean that you should trade on all of the 200 instruments. We, as a broker, we try as much as we can to provide you with all of the instruments. However, you only choose what you can trade with, what you're happy to trade with, what you can basically understand, because at the end of the day you should understand the price action in front of you in order to make profits. So if we are providing you with 200 plus instruments, you can only trade on one or two instruments. At the end of the day, making profits is not that hard. However, you should be smart and work smart, not work hard, basically. What are the shares? Shares are basically the stocks itself. If you want to own a stock in Amazon, in Google, in Apple, in Facebook, Twitter, etc., etc., most of the gigantic companies in the U.S. stock markets, basically, you will be able to trade on the prices of those companies. With PU Prime, we provide you with CFDs on those shares. So if Amazon stock is basically going up and you are having a buy position on the Amazon stock, so we are making profits. If you want to own a position, or for example on Toyota company, the automotive company, and it's going up, so we are making profits, etc. We are providing you with hundreds and hundreds of shares and stocks on the platform, so you can trade live with them. And at the end, we also have cryptocurrencies, and they are basically decentralized assets. I do really doubt that someone at the moment at sitting in 2022 doesn't really understand how does or what cryptocurrencies mean. We will talk in more description and more details about cryptocurrencies. However, the word crypto is definitely something that you have heard about during the past maybe couple of months or couple of years. Bitcoin is something that was basically started from zero, and we're currently talking about $20,000 for one Bitcoin, going down from basically 60 and $70,000. We're talking about other cryptocurrencies like Shiba, like Luna, like Ethereum, Ripple, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, and so on. Hundreds and hundreds of Bitcoins and cryptocurrencies that you can trade on. We are basically also going to provide you with this on the same platform. It's MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5. So right now, let's go through with the practical part of this session: how to open a demo account or a live account, how to open the MT4 platform. We need to check the prices. Let us see all of those financial instruments live right now, and what are the MetaTrader 4 basics and the user interface. Let me share my screen real quick. Okay, let me clear this. I just need to confirm real quick. If you can see my screen, guys, please type one inside the chat window. Can you see my screen right now? Can you please confirm in the chat? Okay, great. Okay, so right now, if you want to access and if you want to get started in the financial trading, what do you want to do? First of all, you will need to choose your financial broker, and in this case, we have just accessed the website. Our website, of course, puprime.com. What you need to do is just you will find a button called Join Now on the top right of the screen. You will click on that. Just some simple information that you will need to fill in with the country, first name, last name, email, and your phone number. Whenever you open a live account, this basically will access for you or will give you an access to the client portal. The client portal will basically be sent to your email address with the username and the password. You'll get back again to the website, and here you will find the login button. Press on that. All you need to do is right now get the login details that will send to you on your email address. In this case, of course, we will be running a test client portal here. This is the username and the password. And this should be the client portal that you will be having once you are logged in with PU Prime. What you need to do right now, the first step, of course, we'll go through many options here that we have got for you on the client portal with PU Prime. However, the first thing that I want you to check is basically the demo accounts, because throughout those webinar series, we will need to work on a demo account to understand how does the financial markets work and how could we enter some trades without putting or risking some money from our pockets. So we will be creating some demo accounts. From here, this tab says accounts, and you will find demo accounts. This has no data, so you will need to open a demo account from here. Immediately, the client portal will ask you whether you would like the account to be opened on MetaTrader 4 or 5. Personally, I prefer for you to choose MetaTrader 4. This is the most common. The account type should be standard, and we will talk in more details later about the difference between the account types that we offer to you with P Prime. What's the difference between standard and the Prime? But for now, we will go with standard. Choose an account currency, and for now we will be choosing the US dollar. However, you can choose any other currency from the currencies stated down here. What is the leverage? For now, we will keep it 500 to 1. And the leverage is something that we will definitely need to explain in the next session and the next webinar. It's something that will definitely affect your trading. And the account balance, of course, this is a demo account. You will not get this money. This is not real money. So in this case, let's choose maybe $20,000. Submit. You will immediately get an email with the additional demo account has been set up, and you will receive an email with your login details shortly. So you get back to your email to find your login details. What do you need to do now? Inside the same client portal, you will find the downloads. Here you can download the MetaTrader 4 or MetaTrader 5 platform. In this case, let's quickly download the Windows version for the MetaTrader 4 platform. And here we go. That's a quick installation for the platform itself for the MetaTrader 4 from PU Prime. Here we go. Finish. Let's close this. And you will find it here on the desktop. This is Pacific Union MetaTrader 4 terminal. Double click on that for your MT4 or the MetaTrader 4 platform to open up for you. Whenever you access the MetaTrader 4, you will be asked for which server you want to log in. Okay. Of course, in case you have a demo account, you should be on the demo server. You will get those details basically in the email that you'll be receiving with the MT4 login, the MT4 password for the demo account. Okay, so those are the demo account details that I just received on the email. You get the login number. This is the account number. This is the password, and this is the MT4 server. Here it says the server is Pacific Union LLC demo. So you just go ahead and choose this one. You will choose not a new demo account, you will choose an existing one because we have already created one. What is the login? Here we go. Copy and paste that here. And for the password, here we go. Copy and paste that too. Save password. Here's the server. Finish. Here we go.
Incoming mail.
Now we have full access on the MetaTrader 4 platform. Let's quickly close this. I don't really like this, What we need to do right now, this is the market watch. Just right click, and all you need to do is show all. Those are all of the symbols or the financial instruments that you can trade with PU Prime on the same platform. For those of you asking why is the balance showing 10k while we have chosen 20k, because basically the demo account here is not the one I have created with you live. This was basically a previously created one, so this was with a 10k account, not with the one we have created live right now. Okay, if you can right click right now, we can see symbols here. It tells you all of the asset classes that you can trade with PU Prime. Let's start with the cryptocurrency. You have all of those cryptocurrencies that you can trade with PU Prime. You have Bitcoin Cash. You have Curve, Dogecoin, Polka Dot, EOS, 1inch, Filecoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, etc. All of those are types or basically examples of cryptocurrencies that you can trade with PO Prime. Here are the US equities. You can trade Apple, Amazon, AT&T, Bank of America, Boeing, Cisco, Citigroup, Bank. You can also have Disney, Robinhood, HSBC, etc. Johnson and Johnson, Mastercard, Coca-Cola, and so on. Those are PepsiCo, Oracle. Those are stocks that you can also trade with PO Prime. Those are another shares, however, from the Chinese stock market. We also have from the Nikkei. This is an index from the Chinese stock market. We have those are indices from the world stock market. We have the China index, we have the German index, US index, and so on. All of this basically will be discussed in more details. However, we are just having a quick snapshot of what is happening exactly on the MetaTrader 4. This is basically the Dow Jones that we mentioned earlier. This is the Dow Jones index. Okay, so here you can get a snapshot of all of the instruments that you can trade with PO Prime on the same platform. Here we are having the MT4 platform. If you want to access any specific chart, let's say for example, this is the chart for orange juice. And yes, you can trade orange juice with PO Prime. This is basically the chart for the orange juice prices that have been trading for quite some time now. You can see basically the orange juice has been going up since 2020, since the coronavirus pandemic, because people is basically convinced that this is vitamin C, and as long as they consume vitamin C through orange juice, this will basically prevent them from getting coronavirus. So this is basically the MetaTrader 4. This is a quick introduction to the interface, and this is basically the main platform that we will be having to work with. We have explained quickly what are the financial markets, what are the instruments that we can trade on, what is the CFD trading, and how to access the website puprime.com, and how to log in and how to even sign up for a demo account and log in on the MT4 or the MetaTrader platform with. All you need to do is just after the session, please create a demo account, open up on the MetaTrader platform, and starting from the next session, next Thursday, we will get some new information, and we will try to update that and maybe add to our information little by little and bits by bit, so you can slowly but constantly understand how the markets will work. Let's get
Okay, so I think we can actually just wrap it up. So we'll look forward to you guys for the rest of the series of our webinar. So bear in mind that the next webinar will be on 7 July, which is the next Thursday. So we will see you guys there. Thank you. Thanks, Mohanad.
Thank you, Betty. Thank you all. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.